G'day, welcome to Cool Cars and welcome to Queen's Birthday Weekend. We hope you have an awesome weekend. We've got some awesome cars to go with it. In fact, we've decided to mark this date by celebrating the best of British cool cars, starting with Bentley's new Continental GT V8, which has just arrived at Bentley Auckland. Also from Britain, Nissan's new Duke. We'll take a closer look at the second generation of this attitude-packed super mini crossover. You know, actually, I don't know how to properly classify this car. In fact, I saw one review recently that summed up the Duke saying it had chutzpah. Perfect. Hey, also today, another list of cool cars for you to check out. First though, some news. And Aston Martin has a new boss, Tobias Moores. He comes to Aston after 7 years running AMG. Yes, that AMG. He is a big fan of power and performance, surprise, surprise. And he was actually involved at the start when AMG started supplying their glorious V8s to Aston Martin. You know, the engines we saw in the DB11 V8, the Vantage, and the upcoming DBX. He is the perfect person to replace Dr. Andy Palmer, who really has made his mark on Aston Martin. And the perfect example is the 2020 Aston Martin DBS in this edition of Cool Cars. In other news, Porsche have unveiled the new Targa version of the 992, the latest edition of the 911. And, you know, for any car lover, the 992 really is the gift that keeps on giving, and we will lap it up, won't we? I've chatted before about the awesome retro touches, and that Targa B-pillar bar is pretty much as good a tribute to the 911 history as you will get. Now, the team at Giltrap Porsche can tell you more. I can tell you the first deliveries will be in time for our summer. And speaking of summer Porsches, look at this one. The only 992 Cabrio for sale in New Zealand is at Giltrap Porsche right now. And other cool cars this week, there's a Porsche Macan Turbo, Jaguar I-Pace 400, a Lexus LC 500, McLaren 570S, a 2018 Lamborghini Huracan 610, and the all-new Audi RS6 Avant. They don't get any cooler than that. Okay, some new car news, and when it comes to the best of British, that's our theme today, you can't get any better than Bentley. The first Continental GT V8 has arrived at Bentley Auckland. Now, this lighter engine package, which still delivers 550 horsepower, brings a whole new dynamic balance to the Conti. And the 70s child in me, well, I do have a soft spot for the V8 engines in Bentleys. Look, here's what Jay Leno had to say.
This is a car that could, in 20 years, is still going to look contemporary. You know, there's nothing flashy or gaudy about it. It's just a tried and true design that looks efficient and is extremely powerful and, well, just a lot of fun.
And check out the GT V8 from Bentley Auckland on this week's Cool Cars. We also find the link to the full video from Jay Leno. Well, from the Midlands majesty of Bentley to the north now, and time for a bit of trivia. In fact, Britain actually produce more cars now than they ever have. More than the days of Leyland and Roots Group and Dagenham. They really do know how to build a great car in Britain. And, well, just look at Formula One. Most teams are based in Britain. There is no accident. In fact, one of the biggest manufacturers in Britain is Nissan. Their factory in Sunderland has produced over 10 million cars. A few of them come here, cars like the Leaf, the Qashqai and the Duke. And the all-new Duke is about to arrive in New Zealand. Yes, within the next few weeks, the new Duke will be at Giltrap Nissan. Now, I said earlier, it's a hard car to define, yet it has inspired many followers in this B-segment crossover. That's the official class name. It's now got slightly bigger, more fuel efficient, and it's packed with safety features. And there is a new turbocharged 1-litre engine that delivers, this is incredible, more torque than the 2-litre engine you used to find in the Primera and Bluebird. Now, not only is it more powerful than that old 2-litre engine, it's far more economical. 5.8 litres per 100 is the official measurement. That's over 48 miles to the gallon in old money, and it's helped by a new 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. It's a really cool car, and Will Nightingale from What Car was at the world launch.
What's it like to drive in other respects? Well, I'm not going to try and pretend this is some kind of sports SUV, but it is so much better to drive than the old Duke, I promise you. And that's both in terms of cornering, but also ride comfort. Overall then, the new Duke is much, much better than the car it replaces, and we reckon it's one of the better small SUVs that you can buy today.
And you can catch the full review on this week's Cool Cars. So prices start at $32,990 at Giltrap Nissan later this month. Call them if you need to know more. What's really cool is none of that Duke style. The chutzpah has gone. Well, that's it for Cool Cars. Have a fantastic Queen's Birthday weekend.